Yeah, and even the thing where you suggested to listen to Botanica, at first it seemed like a very great idea, but then very quickly it turned out to be the most generic genre of all time. So like, wow, it's like it made a complete 180 for some reason, while some other genres that always seem a little bit boring at least stay the way they are.
Well, first off, you were listening to the wrong Botanica. Second off, Botanica itself was a trend that died so fucking fast. I think that was the fastest genre that went to shit ever.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's because people, like, the thing is, it got trendy. This is the issue with genres in general. They get trendy, and people think that they know how to make these videos, tutorials on these genres, when they've never even produced the fucking thing before. So everyone's just copy-pasting the same fucking method of, like, stuttering the song. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna rant again. I have another fucking rant right now.
Alright, let's go!
Every fucking genre, they don't even have groove anymore. These people don't even make danceable fucking tracks. Like, none of these tracks have any fucking rhythm. There's nothing to it. Especially in Botanica.
I mean, in Botanica it makes sense because the songs are like, and then there's a
Is Botanica even to dance to, honestly? I don't know Botanica, but I don't think it's to dance to.
But it's like, why are you making music if there's no fucking groove? Like, even when I collab with other producers sometimes, like, there's no fucking, rhythm in it.
This guy has no horizon at all. This guy knows, like, 2 genres.
Like, dude, listen to 1,000 house tracks and tell me there's originality and groove in everyone. Like, it's just not there. It's not.
But it doesn't always need to be groove, the thing that music
House is a very specific genre. You can't...
Because you don't listen to the top DJs! This is the problem! Like, if you listen to the top DJs, you know every song is fucking lit. But when you listen to, like, average, mass-produced music, there's just nothing there. There's no substance, there's no deep meanings.
We're talking about... Usually the top people are the one everybody's listening to. Otherwise they wouldn't be the top people doing it, right?
I guess, but it's still not enough. Like, I mean, even the top DJs right now. Like, let me look up John Summit. Because when I think of top...
I'm telling you...
I'm thinking top DJs, okay? John Summit has 187K, and he's literally the #1 DJ on the planet right now. So the fact that he has 187K and these TikTok songs or whatever the hell you guys listen to, these 70s songs have like hundreds of millions of views and are actually...
And are they good?
They're not. They're not good. They're not good
But I'm
music.
telling you one thing. The thing is, if you're talking about house music, house is a specific genre. And if you're going to revolutionize house, it's not going to be house anymore.
It's still 130 BPM though.
If you make genre music,
these genres are
you
BPM based. That's all that matters. Especially, like, if you were a DJ, you would know. This is why DJing transforms you as a fucking producer, because you think differently about everything.
2 things. The first thing, house is not strictly based on BPM. There's more to it. You can make a song in the BPM of a house.
I just realized something. You talked about groove earlier, but you said that you don't like Eurobeat. That makes no sense, because that's just so groovy.
I mean,
but the thing,
I don't listen to that shit.
As I said, first of all, you can make something in the same BPM as house, and it's not going to be house. You can make death metal in the same BPM as house. BPM is not a really big part of genre specifications. I know in EDM it's kind of important for some reason, but it's not the only thing relevant. And also, as I said, like, if you make something that's crazy out of the box, it's not going to be house anymore.
Okay, but you want to know why it's relevant though? You want to know why BPM is relevant? Because when you're fucking DJing, and I know you say you don't fucking care about mixing or whatever the fuck, but the festivals are where these artists are making money, okay? Avicii made a fucking $1 billion by mixing, okay? He didn't make it off of his fucking ad revenue or his label paying him money. He made that shit off of his mixes to rich people and at these festivals, okay? That's how these artists are making big bank and getting the fucking clout and all the fame. It's because they're playing in front of crowds with millions of people. So, They're fucking. They're making these tracks to transition into one to another, and if it's off BPM, like it's just gonna sound shit in the mix. And if it's not groovy enough, no one's gonna fucking dance to it. So that's the difference.
First of all, usually DJs have to adjust the BPM of different tracks to each other, anyways. So they speed one up, they slow one down, and then you have to transition, and then they fade back to the original.
But if a song's 100 BPM, if a song's 100 BPM and you're trying to mix it into 130 BPM, it's just gonna sound like shit. That's just the truth.
Yeah, that's true.
It sounds like shit.
I see that. It can sound like shit. It can also not sound like shit. But I see the point. It makes sense that there are similar BPMs. Also, for dancing, you probably don't want a huge range of BPM. It makes sense. I'm just saying, you're constantly talking about revolutionizing the thing and every house track sounding the same. Of course, they sound similar. They're the same genre. Listen to a different genre if you want something new.
Nah, but the thing is, it's the sound design. It's not the actual genre or the BPM that's holding people back. It's the fucking sound design. These people are choosing the most basic sounds. They're
sounds don't matter, man. Arrangement, composition,
everything. I mean, but that goes with it. Like you can't have groove without it. Like if you have a shitty bass, I mean, could you make a good song with just simple sounds? Like no one wants to listen to chiptune. No one likes chiptune music. No one wants to listen to your basic synth sound.
Nah, bro, simple sounds don't have to be chiptune. Simple sounds can be everything.
Hey, and even if they are chiptune, like what is wrong with a nice raw saw wave? That is just such an attitude sound. No, it's just a sound with. You see it the wrong way around. It is the sound with the most attitude. Most of the time, it has too much attitude for you. You cannot handle it.
Nice. I agree.
No,
also,
it makes me want to puke.
The groove, like, I don't know, man. First of all, maybe we should talk about the kick or like the drums or the percussion if you want to talk about groove. Of course, the bass is also important. But I would say the sound of the bass does not really contribute to the groove of the song. The rhythm of the bass contributes to the groove, not the sound.
I mean, the thing is since I'm a fucking house expert, okay, I actually know the differences because there's a lot of different basses you can use with house. You can use like the deep fucking bom bom womp bom, or you can use like a sub bass, so it's like like there's a ton of different ways you can get the rhythm out of it, but like most songs are just boring as fuck. Like I don't know how to explain the problem or like what the issue is.
I have to tell you a secret though, man. Kind of one of the characteristics of house music is that it's kind of boring.
No.
Not in a negative way, like, but the thing is like you want to make long tracks with small changes. Mm-hmm. How is that ever going to be extremely complex or challenging or interesting?
It's in the breakdowns. It's in the build-ups.
Look, that's just like flying with a space shuttle to a different star system. It will take a lot of light years, but if you're traveling fast enough, you can see how the stars are slowly moving towards you. and with far enough, I mean way faster than the speed of light. And a house track is just like that. You have to kind of transcend into a mindset where the time just works differently, and then suddenly the changes come just fine and not too slow.
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily say that they're too slow. I understand, like, you have to be in the vibe. I'm just saying, if Zayn is constantly saying, "Oh, this house track is too boring," I can kind of see he might just think house is boring.
But there's like that's like a one. The thing is with house music specifically, all right. I'll listen, like, since I'm DJing, all right. I'll listen to literally 1,000 songs and choose 20, and that's just the truth of it. I don't know about every other DJ. That's the difference between every other DJ, because like track selection is everything when you're performing, because you can choose dog shit tracks and like it's just gonna be a bad mix, and you can just choose lit tracks and you don't even have to transition, it's gonna be fucking good. But like the rarity, like I don't know what separates a good producer from a bad one. It's just the uniqueness. Like there's no one being unique. Like what genre are you listening to, Xantix? What genre? Because you said you don't listen to fucking whatever. Like, what are you most educated on in genre terms?
I don't know, man. I like pop, but I don't know. It's difficult. I can tell you some bands I like.
Pop
Recently,
is-
I've been listening to a lot of Carly Rae Jepsen, Charlie XCX.
Oh, that's
Also
actually
one of my
something that I
favorite-
know myself. Nice.
Yeah. Also, I've been. I really like the band Parcels. I always go back to 70s, like Pink Floyd or the Kinks.
That's
Well,
nice as
Let's
well.
just choose a genre then. What's
Daft
your best
Punk.
genre? What's your best
I
genre?
love Daft Punk. What's my best genre? I don't know, man. I just like pop. Like, I don't really think in genres.
If you had to make a pop mix, like what makes a good track versus a bad one? Is it the vocals that do all the lifting? Because I feel like that's what's important in pop, but I don't really know.
For me, it's very subjective. Honestly, to me, it's mostly important that it's interesting.
The catchiness is important in pop.
But how
Not
do
just
you
the
make the
vocals.
interesting track? That's what I'm telling you. There's a billion fucking pop songs, but what makes the good ones versus the bad ones?
The catchiness.
Yeah, the catchiness is important for it to be poppy or like.
What part is catchy? The
cool.
synth sound or the vocal? Like what
But,
is?
but the
it can-
catchiness. The
it can
catchiness
be
is different from
more-
interesting, though. It's very different.
It is
Something
it
can
is
be
a
very catchy, but
combination
very
of
boring.
things. It is always a combination of things, not just some melody, but the way it is sung, or if it's even sung, or if it's layered with a specific other sound that makes it kind of weird and memorable.
Like, there's many pop tracks coming out, or like, for example, I throw a bit of shade, like some TikTok songs. They're very catchy, but I find them boring. One thing that makes a song interesting to me, and the thing with being interesting is only really important to me subjectively. For example, if there is more than one thing going on. Many pop songs have very bland orchestration arrangement, right? Just the vocals are kind of interesting, and the rest is very bland. That's
They-
boring
They
to me.
use splice samples
I like-
now to make pop.
Yeah, I like when like there is some instruments or melodies going on around, for example, the vocalist. That's, for example, how it could be more interesting or less interesting to me.
So good instruments
Counter
with the
melodies.
vocals.
Yeah, like just some things going on. Like, if there's just the vocals going on, that's to me often a bit boring. I like to listen to the details in the music. Sometimes there's really nothing else to pay attention to besides the vocals.